we must start totally winning and winning and winning again. I don't care what they say in the meta. We're going to keep winning and winning and winning and winning. Remember?
It's about time to pen it up again, baby, and you know what we're doing? We're making DracoPals great again in 2022. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. One of the most powerful strategies of 2016 is back with a vengeance right now, and we've taken some cool techs from other Pendulum lists and really made it our own this time round. Thank you guys for smashing the like goal in the last Pendulum video, and if you guys enjoyed this one, we got plenty of more Pendulum videos to come. So, I don't want to preface it too much. Let's get into this deck profile. Then we got combos, and then we got a replay. Let's get it. What's going on, guys? Logan YuGiOh here, and that's right, DracoPals is back. We're making DracoPals great again in 2022, and guess what? We actually went undefeated with this list. This is the second time I'm filming this because we made one small change, and we actually won an OTS tournament. It was great, and I'm genuinely surprised because our matchups were quite interesting. We played against two Eldritch players, both of which we lost the die roll, and we played against Drytron, and we played against Sky Striker, and we beat them all, so it's really, really cool. But without further ado, let's get into this profile, and you guys can judge the list for yourself. I'm going to say this isn't the most competitive way to play Pendulum, but it sure as heck is one of the most fun, and it's going to take you right back to 2016. So without further ado, let's get into it. We have triple copies of Luster Pendulum, the Draco Slayer. You guys don't know what this guy does. You throw him up in your Pendulum scale, you pop whatever is in the other scale, you search a copy of the same card from your deck, and more often than not, you're going to be popping something that can generate you some advantage, or it's going to be giving you an extra summon. So it's a pretty good card, not going to lie. We got the one copy, the Vector Pendulum, the Draco Overlord. This card's kind of a brick, but you need it for the Draco face-off, which is currently at 1 on the ban list, but that's going to change real soon, don't you all already know. Triple copies of the Guiding Ariadne, which is one of the main cards you want to pop off of your Draco Slayer, because when this card is popped, you reveal 3 counter traps from your deck. Your opponent picks 1 and adds it to your hand. So you'll see we'll be searching a little bit, but I think you can guess. Moving on from there, we got the triple copies of the Performapal Pendulum Sorcerer. Back in the day when this deck was, like, you know, getting hyped up and was very, very competitive, this is one of the cards that really made it, you know, because when it blows up cards, you search out Performapals from your deck, and although our search targets have changed from back in the day, because some of them are on the ban list, there's still a lot of great options for us to search, so we're taking maximum advantage of this gentleman right here, the beautiful Pendulum Sorcerer. Moving on from there, we're playing double copies of the Skull Crobat Joker. Normal summon, search out any Magician or Performapal, basically whatever you need. This card can find it for you. It's really good to play. It's currently at 2, but we already know it's coming back to 3 in no time. Got triple copies of the Harmonizing Magician, because yes, we are playing the Magician package in this particular list. It makes the most sense. I think currently it's probably the strongest Pendulum package that you can play, especially in conjunction with your Draco Slayers and your Performapals. So we're taking advantage of it to the best of our ability. Got triple Harmonizing as well as triple copies of the Performapal Celestial Magician. I probably should have showed you guys this one first, because this one is searchable off of the Pendulum Sorcerer. It's really good in scale effect, and when it's on field, not only can it turn off your opponent's hand traps and you can control a Synchro, but when you also control another Pendulum monster, it gives you an end-phase search. Phenomenal card. Moving on from there, triple copies of the Wisdom Eye Magician, which can basically become any Pendulum Magician in your scale. If you have another Pendulum Magician in the other scale, you blow it up, you get whatever you need. It loads in your extra deck. It's a level 4. Scale 5, even if you can't blow it up with your Luster, you're still able to Pendulum Summon. Excuse me, not with your Luster, with your Guiding Ariadne or any other low scale. Moving on from there, we've got triple copies of the Oath Dragon Magician. It's probably one of the best Magicians in the deck because it generates so much advantage. You add back Magicians from your extra deck. Usually going to be adding back Harmonizing Magician. You also summon it off of your Harmonizing Magician to make your burrow on the floor. And the one copy of Purple Poison for that spot removal. Technically searchable off of our Pendulum Calls. So although there's a strong lack of going second cards in this deck, you'll find that it's actually surprisingly easy to play through certain boards, and you can bust through a lot of stuff if you learn to play it out smart. So just want to throw that out there, guys. It's not easy, but you can do it. Moving on from there, we got the one copy, the Tuning Magician, to summon off of Halki Fibrax. The DPE package, the Celestial, and the Dasher. Again, these are your bricks, but you do have to play them, unfortunately. You theoretically could cut the Destiny Hero package in a build like this, but I think it's too strong. Like, you can use it to blow up your Guiding Ariadnes, you can use it to blow up, obviously, your opponent's cards, your Scythe, speaking of which, is the next card. We are playing the Scythe as well, and it's just too strong not to play. So that is why we play the entirety of the package, the nice big package for the Pendulum deck. We got it as small as we can, right? But, you know, it still takes a lot of cards.
Moving on from there to the spell cards, we got triple copies of Pen Call, search out any of your Pendulum Magicians. Triple copies of Duelist Alliance. Of course, this not only searches out your Pendulum Call, but it also has an awesome other double duty effect where it can search out either your Luster Pendulum, the Draco Slayer, which is your high skill, you can search off of it, or you can search out your Performapal Pendulum Sorcerer. So of course, what you're going to search, it depends on what kind of hand traps you're reading. We always try and play smart, we always try and play careful, so we are maining triple copies of the Duelist Alliance. Moving on from there, we've got the one copy of the Draco Face Off. As mentioned earlier, this card's currently at 1, but is it going to stay at 1? I hope not. This card's pretty fair. Pretty fair. It either, so you reveal the Draco Overlord and your Draco Slayer, opponent randomly selects one, and whichever one gets selected, it either goes to your Pendulum Scale or it gets special summoned. It's pretty good. Moving on from there, the one copy of the Fusion Destiny to obviously summon the DPE. In this particular build, we had to make room for the additional packages, so I did cut the Fusion Destiny down to 1, comparatively to Steven Trifanowski's build, where he is playing triple copies of the Fusion Destiny. So that was something that we had to change to make maximum room. Main deck's currently at 41 cards, and it's kind of as tight as it can be. And then finally for the trap cards, your Guiding Ariadne targets, playing triple copies of Solemn Judgment. I mean, go figure, right? It's probably one of the best cards that you can search off of Guiding Ariadne. And let's also flag the fact that Guiding Ariadne helps solve one of the problems that Pendulum struggles against, and that's Forbidden Droplets. You know, you search a Solemn Judgment off of your Guiding Ariadne. Now you can no longer be you can no longer be Droplets when you hit them with the Scythe effect, unless they pitch a trap. So it puts you in a very unique and strong position against a lot of decks, especially those combo decks that are maining the Droplets. And then the final search target we play is one copy of Solemn Strike, because you want to have 4 targets. So if you're resolving Guiding Ariadne twice, you are still able to reveal 3. So really, really strong stuff there. That is the main board. Let's move on into the extra deck. Of course, you have to have your Halki Fireaxe Field Center, because Halk is one of our best cards in here. It's one of our best friends. Opens up 2 zones, tags out into TG Wonder Magician, and special summons your Tuning Magician from deck, letting you climb into whatever you need. The one copy of Dagda to get your Scythe and a main key combo piece. One copy of Verte Anaconda. One copy of Artemis. Okay, this is a new edition. This is why part of the reason why I had to re-record the video, because I was not originally playing this, and it's so important. You do kind of have to play this card. So we do play the one copy of the Artemis. It's a Link 1, and sometimes you need it to load up your extra deck, or just to get yourself into, at minimum, DPE or DPE plus Scythe. We got the bigger version of her, which is Selene, of course, special summoning your spellcasters from wherever they may be hiding or climbing into your Access Code Talker. The one copy of Apollosa for negating monster effects comes up quite often. One copy of Access Code Talker for going for game and blowing out boards. You already know. Exceed monsters, we got Tornado Dragon, Baguska, and Abyss Dweller. These are the core 3 that you need to play. I don't think you need to play any others, and I always find myself never being able to play Zeus. It's so unlikely that you're going to be able to resolve it without negging so hard by blowing up your own pen scale. So I don't think Zeus is necessarily worth it in a Pendulum deck. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong here, but that's just from my personal experience in playing the deck. Never really been worth it for me. Moving on from there, we got the one copy of the DPE. Of course, you already know what that's for. Our other synchros are relatively standard. I alluded to this earlier, the TG Wonder Magician, which you can tag into off your Halki Fireaxe. It has that awesome bonus effect of being able to blow up your Artifact Scythe. And then we've got the Baron de Fleur. You already know what this do. It's a negate. It's one of the strongest cards in the Swordsoul strategy. We take advantage of it even better here in Pendulum. Also can use its blow-up effect to blow up Ariadne and search out a counter trap. And then finally, we got 2 copies of the Ignister. Whoa, Logan. That's not an Ignister. The Ignister Prominence, the Draco Slayer. Prominence burning your opponent's field away. Not only does this thing summon your Luster from deck to extend, it also forms a spot removal, non-targeting, shuffle back. Really, really strong. So that's one of our key pieces when it comes to breaking down those boards that I was talking about earlier. Moving on from there, we'll go through the side deck really quick, because this is a standard Pendulum side deck. All credit to Stephen J. Trifanowski for this one at TrifGaming. Why would you do it worse? It's already been perfected. So that's kind of my logic on the side deck. His logic is perfect. Why would we change it? We got triple of the Golden Tea, aka the Raw Sphere mode. Triple copies of the Lava Golem for blowing out those boards. Same thing here. We got the back row removal in the form of the triple Cosmic Cyclone. I should have done this in the reverse order. Dark Lord No More triple to blow out those boards again. This was a saving grace against the Drytron player, because we were able to play through the orange light. Didn't even matter. Dark Lord No More, very, very strong. We got the Call by the Grave and the Harpies for the Duster. So the Call by and the Cosmics come in for the Scythe Lock decks, as well as for some of those matchups where you just need to take cards out of the main deck. Sometimes it does come up, I'll be honest. So, yeah, and of course, Harvey's Feather Dusters to blow out the back row. And then this card's awesome in this deck. Of course, we have Red Reboot. We all know why this card's insane. But what's really cool about this, and since I mentioned that I was playing against 2 Eldritch decks, you only have so much space to bring the cards that are really high impact. You can actually take out your Solemn Strike when you're going first, because it's not really good in the matchup, and you bring in the Red Reboot, so that's your other potential search target off of the Ariadne, which is really cute. Now, mind you, I did reveal it to one opponent when I was able to resolve Ariadne twice in one turn, and he did give me the Judgment both times, because they already know that if they hand you that Red Reboot, the game's over, because they're dealing with Judgment plus Reboot. Yeah, okay, that's funny. But yeah, guys, we've got more content in this video for you, replay and a combo tutorial, so be sure to stick around for the end. I hope you enjoy DracoPals. In 2022, we're making this deck great again, baby. Let's get to it. Alright guys, time for a test hand. Let's see what this strategy can do and produce for us today. Gonna give it a nice good old cut, and let's see how we open up and what board we can produce. We've got the Oaf, Skullcrobat, Luster, Pencall, and Ariadne. This is probably as good as it can get, and the perfect way to demonstrate what this strategy is capable of. So, without further ado, let's get things started. First thing we're going to do, first and foremost, is employ the combo of the Luster plus the Guiding Ariadne. So we're going to pen scale that Luster, and then we are going to activate the Ariadne over here using Luster's effect to blow up the Ariadne. This will let us search our main deck for another copy of Ariadne like so. And then Ariadne's effect that was just destroyed will trigger, where we reveal 3 counter traps from our deck, and then we get to randomly add one to our hand. So of course, for the first one, we'll reveal the triple copies of Solemn Judgment, guaranteeing that we're going to get one of those. So now Droplets has officially become irrelevant from our strategy, but we still have to be smart and try and play around any interruptions the best that we can. So here in this situation, the next thing we're definitely going to do is activate this pen call, but what it comes down to is what are we going to discard, right? Because we still want to have resiliency, especially if we get Ash Blossomed. We still want to be able to play it as safe as possible, right? So I think it's important to hold our Skullcrobat and our Ariadne. What I'm going to end up doing is pitching off this Oaf Dragon, because we still have a complete scales and a means of pen summoning Harmo if we get ashed on this by normal summoning our Skullcrobat. But so we'll pen call, pitch the Oaf, and we'll act as though this is resolving, and we'll grab ourselves a copy of Harmo from the deck, and then another copy of Oaf Dragon to replace the copy we just pitched, and you'll see why momentarily. Alright guys, for our next play, we're going to scale up that Oaf Dragon. We are going to then Pendulum summon out not 1, not 2, but we'll go for 3 monsters here, so we can still play around the Nibiru but have a sufficient board presence. We'll then use our Harmonizing Magician's effect to summon from deck, bringing out that last copy of Oaf Dragon. Next, we'll take our Oaf and our Harmo and turn them into a Baronne de Fleur. This will give us the protection that we need. Next, I'm going to normal summon Skullcrobat Joker, use its effect, searching out a Celestial Magician. Then I'll use Baronne de Fleur's effect to blow up our Luster and scale, and then we can scale our Celestial. We can link these 2 off, summon out Dagda, trigger Oaf Dragon's effect, and then trigger Dagda's effect, getting a Scythe, and then adding back the copy of the copy of Harmonizing from earlier to guarantee us follow-up. Then we can take our Ariadne from the board and our Dagda, link them off into a Verte Anaconda, and then we'll use Verte's effect. We'll pay the 2,000. We'll send from deck to grave the Fusion Destiny, as well as the necessary pieces. So out goes Celestial, out goes Dasher, and that will let us summon our DPE, like so. Very good. Doesn't really matter where you put it. And then, to wrap up our turn, the last thing we really need to do is set down that Solemn Judgment. So we have let's take a little quick inventory here, right? So we ended on a board that's very similar to the standard pen board, right? So we've got our Omni Negation with the Baronne de Fleur. We've got our DPE for a pop, as well as a means of triggering our Scythe Lock. And the most important thing we have is the Solemn Judgment to stop any of those blowout cards, specifically the Forbidden Droplets. So we've got 2 Omni Negates locked and loaded, as well as the Scythe Lock with a pop
Follow-up guaranteed with our Harmonizing Magician, and on the next turn, we've got all the makings for a thick Pendulum summon, including a Luster in the extra deck and a Harmonizing in our hand that can help us go into the Ignister if we need to, or we can just basically blow out the game from here. We also nicely have a Celestial Magician in our Pendulum scale, and that can help bring back our Barone to floor if need be. I also want to flag that this was trying to play out the hand as safely as possible, but there was ways where you could search either a second copy of Judgment or Strike, whatever your opponent gave you, go far higher ceiling if we Pendulum summoned more from hand, or went for the normal summon of the Harmonizing instead of the Skull Crabat. And there's just so many different ways to play this deck that it takes a lot of different practice to see all the different lines. But this is just an example of one way to do it that played under Nibiru, try to keep it as safe as possible. And yeah, let's go check out a replay.
Get him out of here! Get out!
What's going on, guys? Logan JY here, and to close out this video, we got a replay, baby. You already know we're going to show you how good DracoPal is against the Swordsoul, so let's check it out. Starting things off, hand's not looking too crazy, but you know we're going uninterrupted, which means you know we're winning. Look at this. Alright, so we use the pen call, get our scales, Duelist Alliance adds us the Sork, get a quick pen 2, chain block it with the Sork, go for the Barone to give us safety, Oaf add Mac. This is pretty standard Pen Magician type stuff here. Use that tuning we pitched earlier, trigger our Dagda, get our tuning on field, get our Verte, which means you got Verte, Scythe, DPE, plus a Barone negate, which is going to lead to an instant scoop phase, of course, as you should. Moving on from there, we've got the Swordsoul player going first. His hand is cracked. Look at this, bro. There's like nothing we can do. He's just going to full combo on us real quick. Look at this. So he gets the Cheese Out. Cheese Out is going to search. Moe's going to draw. Grab himself the Emergence. Emerge out of what? Alright, yeah. Grabbing Protos. That card that should be banned. We all know. And then Protos to get summoned. Pot of Desires to get an extra draw too. Because why not, right? He draws in Desires because he's not very talented. But he flips Anti-Spell. We had no answer to that. So we just scoop it up. It's fine. Who cares? We're going first game 3. And look at this hand, bro. Look at this hand. We open the combo. We got Luster plus Ariadne. Pop Ariadne. Trigger to search. Grabbing ourselves a free Judgment. Very nice, very nice. Normal summon our Skull Crabat, get Imperm, but who cares? Because we go for Hulk with our Luster that we pen summon, go into the Dagda, and we set it up this way. I end up Judgmenting the Chalice because we really want our Scythe Lock to go through. So we go Hulk and then Dagda effect, summon our TG. TG blows up the Scythe. Scythe comes back, and on res, we use Wonder Magician to tag out for Barone. Very nice. Mashuda comes out, who cares? Emergent searches, who cares? None of this stuff is relevant right now. Gonna go for the Ashuna, but not gonna matter, Chief. Enter battle, swing over, that's fine. Let's bring back a Scythe for free, who even cares? Very nice. We'll double Scythe Lock you, because why not? He's got a Droll in hand, and we don't even care about that either. So we just go for a Barone Pop, trigger our Luster, get another search off Ariadne Grande, get Drolled on res, where he should have Drolled this one before, but, you know, it is what it is. And then Scale, Pen Summon, Harmo, GG. He knows he didn't have a chance. He was so dead. He was so dead. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed DracoPals in 2022. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already done so if you want to see more Yu-Gi-Oh videos. We got Pen, we got Drytron, we got Gogis, we got a whole lot more. Infinity, baby. We're hyped. We're ready to rock and roll. Logan JY signing off. Have a great day. I'll see you chumps later. Peace. 心の隙間